Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the newest installment of the Skader Things podcast. I am one of your hosts, Evan, aka SolVI or Solvi. I am joined here by my other co-hosts, Just Blue 333 and Mr. Obby Mage.
Woot woot.
Welcome. Hello.
See, I have nothing that you can like change in my name to make it like extra long or be pedantic about it. Because I don't have like any numbers. I don't have any Roman numerals. Like it will always be Mr. Obby Mage.
Yeah, there's no way you can like
Just
misconstrue
call you
it.
Obi.
I
Ragnar
can
just
call
the other day
Blue.
called you Obi.
Well, yeah, you can call me Obi, but that's not like pedantically trying to elongate the name like it is when someone
Right.
says 333.
Mr. Obsidian.
Yeah, I can be like just Blue 333 or just Blue 333 or just Blue. With my name, there's a little bit of variance. You can say Sol 6 technically, Sol VI, Sol V, Sol. With yours
Soul
it's just Obby or
underscore
Mr. Obby.
VI.
Yeah, there you go. That's pretty good. That's about as good as it gets right there.
That is about as good
aside.
as you get it. Yep, pedantics aside, welcome back. It's been quite a while. I feel like we don't
a few
talk.
weeks, yeah.
I feel like we get us three, or at least I don't talk to you two as much outside of these podcasts anymore. So whenever we get to sit down and record an episode for the podcast, I get very excited because I get to sit
It's
with
kind of
you
me
two.
in general right now. I kind of feel that way in general. Like, if I don't have a meeting with like Ragnar or not Ragnar, Goose. Here's an example. Like Gustav and Ali are both on birthday team. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm so glad we have birthday team right now because I get to like catch up with them or other people. Because if it's not a meeting, it's I'm busy either working or I'm outside or something. So it is nice to catch up.
I would say it's a very similar experience with me right now. I'm doing so many more hours at work, and so it makes it a lot harder to make the time for a lot of my online friends. Like even as little as like 8 months ago, it was so easy to just like, oh, I'm free. I'll just jump in every call that I can see. I'll talk to everybody who's on. Like, I'll make all the time, that I can. And now, like, the time that I have is so much thinner. And even when I have time, it usually comes at the back end of a shift at work. So I'm just tired, and sometimes I don't have the social energy. Yeah, my social battery is like, I don't feel like it's pushed past the point. Like, I don't feel like it breaks the threshold, but it definitely empties a lot more than it used to. Like, I don't feel overwhelmed, but it's definitely like my social battery would, let's say I drain usually half of it or maybe a quarter of it on a normal day. Nowadays, I'm draining most, if not all of it. And so I had a day off today, which was nice, but again, because I've been working several straight days, it's like there's still a lot of exhaustion that kind of is tied in with a rest day.
Yeah, I definitely got that when I was working, especially if we were working overtime. Like after getting done from a 10-hour physical shift, the last thing I wanted to do was be in a Discord call and talk to people, because that was just like, my throat does not want to hear that. Does not want to do that.
The thing is as well, my job is also very sociable as well. So like, even if I'm not I talk to all my coworkers because I got a good relationship with all of them. But then even like with customers, like there are loads of locals who want to talk to me, and like we have conversations. Then obviously there's just the strangers who I've never met, but they want to say extra. Then you got those who want to show around the shop. So like, I'm always at work. Like there's very, very few periods where I'm actually like not talking. I'm always like, I kind of describe it as like I'm always sort of plugged in. I'm always talking to somebody. I'm always talking in some way. And so like, yeah, it's definitely a lot harder nowadays to do that. When I used to work 2 shifts a week, I had so much in the tank. Whereas nowadays, like even in a Skade call, I'm just quieter because I just don't have that same like social energy to just unload into everyone as much as I want to.
Yeah. And I honestly kind of find it weird how like Blue and I kind of like switch places, because like before you started working again, you were, well, not working. I guess if before work you're not working, but you weren't working.
Yeah. I started working, you started staying home.
Yeah, I started staying home, and I was like, oh, hey, we'll be having more free time. Nope. Actually, Blue's going to be away every hour that I'm online usually. And so it's like, oh, okay, thanks. And then Evan, I might get a brief glimpse of him before things happen. and then his entire life gets turned upside down, and then he goes and gets more hours on work and work and work. So yeah, I have felt very lonely, and I am happy to see you guys in the podcast every once in a while, even though I force you to do this.
I miss we've had a few that we've had to miss, and it's all kind of been the three of us. Like this last one, it's like, this day doesn't work for me, oh, this doesn't work for me, or oh, I'm just having a bad day, guys, or I don't feel like I can be myself today in the podcast. And sometimes it's just one of us or two of us, so we record more regularly, but when it's all three of us kind of rotating, it makes it difficult to come together like this. But that's just kind of me right now. I've really been like, I don't know. I don't really know how to say it. Other than I've been kind of struggling lately a lot. And I have to had to gravitate towards what makes me feel good. And like I talked about in the last podcast, that for me is outside. Like even just an example earlier, we had birthday team meeting and everything was fine. I was working on a build. I'm kind of the only one right now working on a build. So everyone else is kind of, just messing around. But like I couldn't focus and I was just, I could feel the overwhelming feeling hitting me, like the suffocating kind of like I need to get out. I need to get out right now. And so I ended up going and grabbing this old swing and putting it in a tree and swinging, and it regulated me. It made me feel better. It made me it relaxed me. And I'm really like in this weird, like this just weird little era of my life where I've really noticed I'm pulling away from a lot of things that are technical, like or not like tech, like meaning my computer, my phone. I'm trying to set it down more, whereas you will never catch me without my phone in my hand. I could be in the bathroom, I could be hiking, I could be wherever, and I have my phone in my hand. Now, if I don't have service, it's a whole nother thing. Like when I'm hiking, often I don't have service, so I just put it in my pocket.
Or if
But like,
you download music maybe and listen to that while doing it.
yeah, sometimes, yeah, exactly. But like, I really do have my phone in my hand all the time, even when I'm sitting at my computer. Right now, my phone is in my hand, and I'm just realizing how unhealthy it is. I look at, social media is a tough one right now. I don't think I'm the only one that feels that. Like, there's a lot of doom and gloom, especially being American, right? It's so hard to sift through so many negative things, and these are important things. It's not like negative just to be negative. It's negative reality. It's a reality of negative things that are happening in our country that are making me very sad. Very sad. Sad for other people, sad for myself.
Stop
and
making Blue sad. Stop
making me
making
sad
our
and things.
neurodivergent mom sad. Okay.
And things I can't control. And I'm a fixer. I am a fixer by nature. I'm a fixer. And so like to not be able to fix these things and just have to ride this wave that I don't know where this wave's taking me, and these things that are happening here in the US daily, daily. It's like it's suffocating. So I go online. I'm like, oh, and I like Blue Sky. It's from my opinion, it's a lot better than Twitter, a lot more healthier than Twitter. Instagram's healthier than Facebook. So I've kind of minimized my social media to just a few apps, but it's hard. It's very negative. A lot of the things, you might come across a really positive post, but you got to sift through 10 political-ish things of how it's affecting people's lives. And being such an empath I am, it hurts. Everything hurts. I'm sad. And it's like, oh, wait, look, someone's having a good day. Look, they took a picture of flowers. That's beautiful. Back to doom and gloom. It's just so,
Yeah.
and I've noticed I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore because I'm just so like worn thin, and my mental health is so worn thin, and all this past year of just negative, 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 negative. And I'm not meaning anything Skade wise or anything even. I mean, I've had a lot of bad luck IRL, we know that. But like I'm really talking about my community, my country, and it's hard. And I find myself more and more wanting to remove myself from things like social media, specifically social media in general, and not just social media, but just not this need of feeling like I always have to be, at my computer, always be playing this game or that game. Like, I'm just like, kind of like what I had mentioned in the last podcast. I'm just really trying to gravitate more towards the things that fill me back up, such as, painting and just art. I love art and
Yeah.
music and playing my guitar and being in the woods and, sitting in a tree and all those things. I'm feeling like I need to supplement because of all the doom and gloom. I need the supplement even more. And then two, I don't really like, I was talking to Evan about this. You know, I sometimes look at myself, and it's like I feel right now I'm in a change. And actually, Obby, you and I kind of talked really briefly about it. But I do feel like I'm in a bit of this period where I'm removing some layers. I'm looking around going, what am I doing? Like, I can do better. I can, clean more. I can take care of my own mental health more. I can get out more. I feel like I'm like in this weird cocoon where I'm like coming out, and I'm about to enter into a new era of Kimber or a Blue. I'm about to become a better version of myself. And this happens with me every like 15ish years, 10, 15 years, where I just kind of sit back and look at my life from above, like looking down on it, like the decisions I've made, the friendships I've had that I really shouldn't have had, that I stayed because I didn't know how to not, because I'm a sucker. And learn this whole new thing called boundaries, and learn putting myself first. And being I'm a fixer and a people pleaser. And if you're a people pleaser, here, I'm talking to you. If you're a people pleaser, I know you understand. Because as a people pleaser, we don't know how to put other people first. It will always be someone else's happiness over my own. It will always be someone else's anything over my own. And I always tell people, don't tell me to change, because I like that. I like being that person. But I'm doing a lot of self-discovery right now, and I'm going, do I really like that, or was I told to like that? How much of my life am I living right now because I'm told I need to, when something really doesn't make me happy? So yeah, so I'm kind of in this weird transition of just wanting to better myself, better my family, my community, the people around me, do what I can, and anything that I can't. And actually, I had a friend give me really good advice on this, which is don't dwell on things you really can't change. So if there's something bad going on, like political stuff, focus on the little things you can, and that might be just in your little community or in your neighborhood or in your own home. You start as small as you have to try to find, to try to be able to make those little changes, and that way you're not overwhelmed and over consumed. And I'm talking with my hands, you guys just can't see it. um Sometimes
You're
I make
talking just
myself
a
laugh.
lot, so
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I get off my soapbox in a second. But yeah, and it was my friend Rabbitjack, or Adam. He gave me that advice a while ago, and I told him I was really constantly down about political stuff, and he's like, you're looking too big. You're looking too big. How can you make a small difference even in just your little community?
mhm.
And Skade is a big part of that for me. Like, I always feel very good about Skade. I love what we do. I love like how we can fill people's lives and give them, attention and encouragement when needed, and we can help boost self-esteem. We can do so many good things here, and this is my community. So when Adam told me, focus on that, I did, and I love what we do here. So I'm evolving, but at the same time, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just trying to make better usage of my time when I'm not sitting at my computer. And that's where for years, and I want to say COVID's where it really started. Actually, I'll say more like joining an old community we used to be in is kind of when that really started, of just plopping my ass down and then not getting up again all day.
Yeah.
And it's when it really started. And then COVID hit, and we all shifted. Some of us came to a new server, hi Skate Gaming. And that freed up my schedule, because I didn't have this weird shift anymore of having to be staring at a console all day or something, because in Skate we don't do that. And so it was kind of like, I had all this extra time, but then COVID and depression, and you guys get that. It's just, it gets to where it got really redundant. And kind of like you looking around your room, this was me looking
Greetings,
around my
woman.
life. This is me looking around my life going, where can I make these adjustments and changes? And how can I better myself? Because if I'm better, I can do a better job for you guys. You know, I can do a better job for Riley. I can do a better job for my community. So, yeah, that's what's up with me. How are you? What's going on with
That
you,
was my
Obby?
favorite monologue I've ever heard. It was
I'll probably be quiet the
basically
rest of the podcast.
it's like
You
I
are.
could have
Oh
listened to
my.
the entirety of one scotch, one bourbon, one beer, the 8 minute and 30-second song twice probably in the time that you were
It was
talking.
about, well, we started late, Evan. So we started a little bit late. So I think we actually started about what, 16 minutes
Shut
ago.
up.
And yeah, I did talk a
Mhm.
little bit. So.
Just a little bit. Although I do get where you're coming from. I do understand where you're coming from. I do. You know,
Yeah,
there's a
there's
lot
a
of
reason I separated from social media like over a year ago.
I
Mhm.
definitely feel myself pulling away, perhaps not to the same extremities that Blue is. Like I wouldn't say I'm as stressed out, and obviously as much as I have a lot of anger and frustration at my own country for my own reasons. It's not a comparable scenario. We aren't dealing with anywhere near like we are like 7 categories behind where I would say America is without really putting too fine a point on it. So I'm not worried. I'm annoyed and pissed off, but I'm not worried or like scared or stressed out. I think it's probably the best way I could describe it. But I also kind of have been doing a bit of, self-reflection, and I think that, I'm at a point where I'm learning like I'm getting a better idea of what I want in life, and sort of what I want to do. And I think that I'm learning like what I want to give more of my time to, and I'm able to just I'm trying to enjoy things more. Like I spend a lot more money nowadays than I used to. I used to be a very this is just an example. I used to be a very very tight person with money, like really tight.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would the only money like for a while when I was at work, the only money I would spend was literally just the food at work that I would buy as a snack on my break, if I even did that. Nowadays, like I'm probably spending a lot of money every day, just like hanging out with friends or like just going to a restaurant I want to go to. And I wouldn't say I'm not reckless with money, but I'm a lot less. I'm no longer uptight with money like I used to be. If like I'm not worried about like, oh shit, like, I don't want to, oh man, I've already spent all this money this week. Do I really want to go out again and spend that? No, I can't, never mind. Like, I'm able to just kind of go, you know what, I've got this money, it's there to be spent, I'm gonna have fun. Like, I'm not going to deny myself a nice time with some friends because I don't want to spend a penny. And especially when I'm in a point where I don't have to worry about like big bills or genuine financial stress. I work more hours too, which really makes up that as well. Um, and yeah, I feel like I'm making a lot more time for my real life friends, and that's been a difficult adjustment because it's not something I'm used to. But I feel like it's been going really well, and I'm really happy with like how it's developing. I recently went on a date. I went on a couple of dates actually that went pretty well. It didn't work out, but it felt really good that I was able to do that, and it felt really exciting that I actually reached that point, and I'm in a place where I can do that. So
Congrats on dating the woman in
um,
your walls.
thank you. But yeah, I feel like I'm making a lot of progress. I don't know if you'd call it good progress or bad progress, but it's progress. I think I'm definitely changing in similar ways to Blue and in different ways too. And I think that it's for me it feels positive, and I think that's the only mindset that is needed. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's been interesting, that's for sure.
I've definitely been this past week has been very weird, like out of body experience. Similar, I know Blue mentioned it earlier that I was talking to her about it, but yesterday I kind of had a woke up and had like a realization moment sort of thing. You know how like whenever it's like 11 p.m. at night and you're trying to go to bed and you start doing like a lot of thinking and stuff like that, that you just like know that as soon as you go to sleep you're going to forget about by the morning and stuff like that. Well, I had that like when I woke up that morning. And so like it was fresh in my mind throughout the entire day about just like how disgusted I was with my past self. And when I'm saying past self, I know like a lot of people will think like, oh, by past self you must mean like you from like 3 years ago. No, I mean myself from like a week ago. I literally was just woke up and looked around my room, and like I know that it's messy, but it didn't feel like me who created the mess, even though I know it was me who created the mess. It feels like a separate me entirely created the mess that I am currently sleeping in, than me myself now. And so like literally I woke up, did like a bunch of cleaning as much as I could. I mean, being disabled doesn't help with being able to clean and pick up stuff off the floor. So, but I did as much as I can because I was just like very disgusted with my living environment, and I've never really had that. I've always been a very messy person. I do try my best to make sure that it's only my space that gets messy. Like if I'm in a shared communal space, I usually try my best to clean up for others. But like my space, I'm the only one here. I don't care how messy it is. But then woke up and it's just like, wow, who the fuck made a mess here? Was it me? And then I looked in my mirror and it's like, oh fuck, it was me. Shit. But yeah, I kind of contribute that personally because of the fact that I am now 25 years of age. I am developing my brain fully now and getting my prefrontal cortex and thinking about that stuff now. I am now realizing the consequences to my actions, believe it or not. It only takes 25 years to do that. But yeah, I think that it is mostly for me just the fact that my brain chemistry is literally changing as we speak. But I also do know that like it just because your brain is fully developed doesn't mean you stop changing afterwards either. Like obviously Blue, you were just talking about how you're having all this self-realization and your brain isn't growing anymore or has fully developed at this point. So it's like I don't know if it's actually that. It feels like it should be that. It's like logically I think it should be that, but it might not be that at all. So yeah. Either ways, self-realization.
It's a hard.
It's a great thing to have that. To sit back and just kind of like you think about a job, right? You have a job, and not all employers do this, but really good employers will do this where when you have your like annual review, you sit and you talk. It's not just a boss going, "Yep, you've been here a year. Here's your 2% raise," or whatever it is. I like the ones that I know, right? I like the ones that will sit and talk to you. Like, how do you feel your job is going? Like, do you see areas that you would like to do things differently? Like, how do you feel you have grown in this past year within our company? How do you, and it kind of makes you stop and reflect about what you've been doing. And is there other ways you want to do that? Is there ways that you want to improve? And maybe you don't. Maybe you're like, I'm a badass. I do a good job. Or, hey, this is just a job. I don't really care. And there are people that don't care, but then you have people like me that just want to always try to do my best, and I always appreciated that when you would kind of have this self-reflection at work of how this is what I'm doing, what can I do better, but at home we never carry that into our real lives. Our teachers do it. We grew up doing it with teachers. They would have parent teacher conferences, or we're graded on our work, we're given constant feedback on how to do better and what we can do to work smarter, not harder, that kind of thing. We get into jobs, and like I said, good employers do that, but we don't do that about our personal lives. And it's hard for us to grow and change and evolve if we don't ever stop to reflect where we're at and where we're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think it's. I'd like to. I do think that it's healthy. I don't really know. I think I always self-reflect, but I think that I don't. How do I describe this? I always self-reflect. I self-reflect even things I do yesterday, but I don't think my self-reflection kicks in, or it's like being taught something in class, and you learn it, and you're understanding it, and you're observing it, and it makes sense. But maybe it's only after like 7 months of learning this subject do the things that you've learned finally occur to you, and you go, "Oh, that's why I was taught that. That's why that's important. That's actually how I understand this concept." And I think with me and self-reflection, it's the same thing. I can think about a lot of things I did or said yesterday or a week ago, whatever. I don't think it really kind of sits in, or like it really like occurs to me like what I'm thinking or feeling about myself at least for a few more months, and then it's like, oh, that's how I feel about this. Like there's a lot of realizations that I've perhaps made before, but I haven't actually put them into practice until much later because I didn't know how, and I didn't understand if my thoughts were rational or how to kind of I guess process them.
See, I have to do.
So
I think I have to do big picture. My dailies are usually just negative. Oh, I shouldn't have said this. Oh, why did I eat that? Oh my gosh, like I need to learn to keep my mouth shut. I sure did, mess this up. Those are my dailies. But I think for me, looking at it too daily, or even, it doesn't show me that big picture. I have to kind of sit back and go, the last 5 years, like what have I done? Like have I treated people? Have I done this? And so it's not, I do the dailies like you were just mentioning, but my dailies, I don't know about you guys, but mine are very critical. I can't remember the last time I was like, hey, look at you. Which is dumb. We should be. Hey, I made the bed today. I went to work today. I did this. I didn't kill anyone,
My
But
dailies
it's
wake
not
up and
that.
take a piss.
For me, it is more, it really is more negative though. If I think about it, like the things I do kind of reflect on are the mistakes I've made that day. I don't reflect on the good things I've done that day.
Yeah, I used to be a lot like that. I'm a lot less like that. Of course, there are still stupid things I've said or done that I do really think about, but
Yeah.
honestly, nowadays I would say I have a very neutral, like at worst, reflection of myself when the day is over. Like if I'm self-reflecting at all, or I'm like overthinking something, overall, I'd say it all kind of balances out. Like I have positive thoughts, I have things that maybe I'm not happy about, but like I don't beat myself up over like, oh yeah, I was an idiot when I said that to a customer, or how stupid have I that after they already asked for a bag, I asked if they wanted a bag, forgetting they'd asked for a bag, right? But then I think, yeah, but like, you know what? I had a lot going on at that point, or there were a lot of customers, or I was very busy, or everyone does something like that. So I think like I'm a lot better nowadays. Even if I have a negative thought, I'm very good at kind of either dismissing it or turning it into something that my brain can go, you know what, that's fair enough, Evan. Don't even think about it anymore. It's fine. And that for me has taken a lot of work and has been very hard because I've always, growing up, been a really self-negative person. Like I've always been bad at negative self-talk, and I sometimes still am, especially on my dark days. But in general, I'm a lot less like self angry or self-hating, or like I don't make like I'm good at kind of just going, this was a small dumb mistake. Why am I like cringing physically over it? Who fucking cares? Like, and I'm like, actually, it's if I just laugh it off, it's actually a lot easier. Like, for example, sometimes what I'll do, this doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's always really funny. Sometimes when I'm at work, obviously, as a cashier, I'll say in the American term, you're asking the customer you're serving if they want a receipt or if they need a bag, right? Sometimes I'll get it mixed up and I'll say, would you like a receipt? Before I've even started scanning their items. Like, that'll just sometimes slip out. I don't know how or why. It's just a brain fart. Served a lot of customers, busy day. A few years ago, that would be something that like I would literally be like laying awake at night, like feeling so stupid over. Nowadays, I just laugh at them with it. I'm like, oops, sorry, I cleared it out to speak English. They like, I will turn it into something funny and just laugh about it, not in like a self-punishing. Like I'm interrupting myself here. It's important to laugh at yourself, but there's a difference between laughing at yourself and literally tormenting yourself by laughing at yourself. And I feel like with my idiocy, I'm good at laughing at myself, but not in a way that's still hateful towards myself. It's just genuinely I've made a bit of humor out of it that makes the other person laugh. And I think that that's a really, really good mental place to be in. And that's where I've kind of reached with a lot of things.
It's like those times when your waiter or waitress serves you food and they say, enjoy your food, and you accidentally say, you too,
You too.
instead of
I
like,
do it
thank
all
you.
the time.
Yeah.
I did that with a when I bought some apple juice at an airport before I went to Spain. The guy was like, "Have a safe flight," and I said, "You too." And I was like, "Wait, why did I say that?" And he just laughed.
They hear it like
hear it
the
all the
lady
time.
when she told me one of the times they're like, I probably hear that 300 times a day, and I'm like, okay.
You
I'm
you
still
also
gonna laugh.
I think serving customers as well. I think the more and more I'm on the tills and that I'm dealing with people, the more I realize other people are just also really like socially anxious. And sometimes I'm like, wow, like these people are even more anxious than I am. Like, I am thinking I'm the dumbest person in the room. There are people who literally, like, you can see are nervous. So I've got a lot better at, like, being kind to myself, because I'm able to really see on display everybody feels like that. And when I was growing up, people always told me, "Oh, Evan, everyone always feels like that. You're not the only one." And you believe it, but you can't believe it until you've seen it. And for me, like, I'm a big believer in that. So if somebody says, like, "Oh, everyone feels like that," I'm not actually going to believe you until I see, like, genuine, like, living proof of that. And working in retail, I see a lot of people who are also socially awkward or also say stupid things, and that makes me go, "Oh yeah, it really is genuinely everybody on Earth." And so that has made me, like, just a lot more, like, at peace with how I am, or my own social oddities, or the dumb things I might say, or blurt out. And one other thing too that I've kind of changed a lot. This is actually a big change, and I meant to actually talk about this with you both, but I'll say it now while I remember. I'm trying not to say the word sorry as much, and that's going to sound really weird to say out loud,
No, it
because
doesn't.
of course I of course will always take accountability. If I've fucked up, I will always apologize. But I will say sorry at things that do not even evoke the need for an apology, or a person would never even expect you to apologize for. Like, if I mix my words up, I say sorry. If I trip, I say sorry. If I bump into somebody, I say sorry. I say sorry to an excessive degree, not like a bad excessive degree, but I definitely notice, like, why did I say sorry there? Like, that person doesn't care. So I've learned, and this is going to sound so weird how this clicked for me. I was at an apple juice place, and there's this local, and he's a really chatty local. Like, he just talks to everybody, and I had said sorry to him because I'd minced my words. I was talking to him about something, and I'd said, "Oh, sorry, I meant so so." And he's like, "Don't know why you're apologizing, mate." I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Don't know why you're apologizing. You're gaslighting yourself. You didn't say anything that needed an apology. You should have said excuse me, not." And I thought to myself, and obviously it was a throwaway comment that was filled with apple juice, but actually I thought, but he's right though. That Why did I say sorry there? So what I now do is I now say excuse me. In a situation where I would usually say sorry for no reason, I now say excuse me. If I like say something and I get it wrong, rather than say, "Oh, sorry, I meant so and so," I'll instead say, "Oh yeah, excuse me, I meant to say so." And, like, honestly, I already, and this is gonna sound so cringe, I already feel like a lot better from doing that. Like, I already feel like a lot more socially confident from just literally changing the word sorry into the phrase excuse me. I don't know how to describe that. It sounds so weird, but yeah, that's another sort of mentality shift I've gone through in a way that Blue is also shifting.
So I want to comment on something you said a little bit ago. So for me, you were saying, gosh, this was a little
Apple
bit ago. I'm
juice.
trying. Oh yeah, apple juice. Do you see me come shake my head
Yeah,
at you?
I'm just like, just say beer, man. Just say
You're
it.
allowed to say this is Skader
I
things.
forgot.
We went over this last
Sorry,
time.
I
You can
forgot.
say
I
this.
forgot. I'm sorry. It's been too long.
For me, here's my thing. Oh, I think you were saying you don't get upset at yourself or something like that. You made some kind of comment about you don't really get upset. See, for me, I just might sound really weird, but for me to make changes in myself and to realize, like, you said you don't feel bad about things or something like that. And for me, if I can be like, "Oh, it really wasn't that big a deal, just don't, whatever," I don't learn or I don't make those changes for me.
This depends.
Well, I know this is a me thing, and I really do know this, because otherwise people would be like, "Why do you torture yourself?" But for me to stop a behavior, like, let's say I'm always late to birthday, always minutes late,
You're going robotic.
and they always give me a hard time about it.
Oh, she got.
Oh no,
Carry on.
am I back?
You're back. You're back. Carry on. Carry on.
Okay, so, like, yes, let's say I'm chronically late to birthday. I can't, and they give me a hard time. Let's say, they're teasing me, Ben and them are teasing me. I feel bad, but feeling bad is how I go, you know what? I am not being late today. And so I make those adjustments, because I could whatever it and just keep always being late. But I try to see those things at the end of the day when I'm this went back to the reflecting conversation when I was saying and so when I do reflect on, oh, I can't believe I said this and I can't say that, I don't beat myself up over it, but I also don't like excuse the behavior. I have to still feeling bad about something is how I make change. It's how I
I
and I think sometimes when people don't, and I'm not saying you, Evan, because you're completely separate in
well, and
this, but I do
and
know
I have a
people
lot
that
to
like
add because
they literally don't care. They don't make the changes. They continue to do it. And sometimes I always wonder, like, is that due to that feeling of they don't feel bad? Because if you don't feel bad, you don't feel upset at yourself or embarrassed by something, you're typically not as
well,
apt to make those positive changes. That's all.
well, I agree. So, okay, well, hold on. I agree with that. And I also think it's important to feel bad too. And I still do. I'm talking about more minor things. I'm talking about things that what you don't need to feel bad over, right? Like if I say the wrong words to a customer, like, "Oh, would you like a receipt?" That's not something I need to feel bad
Well, I
over.
just would
If
laugh
I'm-
at myself. I
yeah,
would laugh
yeah,
at they would
that's well,
laugh
that's
and
right.
yeah.
Well, that's what I was
Oh,
talking
okay.
about.
I
If I'm
was I
chronically
was
late, if
mhm.
I'm chronically late to a team meeting, yeah, I need to feel bad to learn myself. I wouldn't dismiss that or go, "Oh, it's fine."
Yeah.
I'm only busting because I really don't want to get misrepresented. I am not saying that for important things or things that are actually quite significant, I am like that. Of course I'm not. I also still think it's important to feel bad, and I will. I will. I'm my own harshest critic on things like that. I am
Mm.
saying that specifically in
Well,
situations where I
and
would be
again,
more
this was
social.
a while ago. I couldn't
It,
talk for a long
but
time.
yeah,
Sorry.
it's all right. I'm just making sure this doesn't get misrepresented because this is a massive simplification. If I do something that's more socially awkward or more just trivial, I will rather than feel bad, I will now laugh at myself, or I have learned to kind of just not feel bad and internalize that in a really negative way. But
Mm.
yeah, like if we're talking about it's the example you use, if we're talking about like being late for a team meeting
Could be a social
chronically,
thing,
yeah,
like where you put
well,
like I put my
or
foot in my
whatever,
mouth a lot. Like I really do.
yeah,
Like in real life,
yeah,
I am
like that,
so socially awkward. It's
yeah, like
embarrassing how socially
yeah,
awkward I
like
am.
that as well. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm.
Like, and in situations like
See,
that,
I
I will
do
as
feel
well.
bad though about
You
those. I
just
think that's just where we're
we
different. Is I'd be
well,
like, we don't say that because
well if
then they
I
all laughed. You know.
well it depends. Again, I'm talking about
Mm.
really minute things that I will beat
Mm.
myself up over that I shouldn't. There are
Yeah.
things that definitely like this. I don't want this to get simplified. There's obviously nuance to it. I'm just saying that for the really small, silly, trivial things that nobody should feel bad over, I will. And I am just saying that as a person, I have learnt and am learning to not then suddenly beat myself up.
Mm.
Obviously, there are going to be times where I say a really stupid thing and I'll feel terrible over it. That's not what I'm talking about. That's a misrepresentation of what I'm saying. So I'm just
Okay.
trying to clear that up because there is a
Oh yeah,
distinction in
no,
that
it's
to
fine, and
me.
it would have flown a lot better. It would have flown better if it could have been back with the representation, and then not after the sorry versus excuse me talk. So
Mhm.
regarding that
Well,
one, I don't really have a ton to say on that. I apologize a lot. I'm an over apologizer. I've been told that my whole life. One of my friends that I talk to all the time is like, "You say sorry too much. Quit apologizing." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry." And it's just me. I don't think for me it's not if I say, "Oh, excuse me," or "I'm sorry." I think the way it would affect my mental health would be more how I how do you say this? If I gave different powers to those different phrases, it would. But to me, I think they're universal. So to me, if I bump into someone and I will say, "Oh, I'm sorry,"
I think
because I'm sorry because I didn't mean to do it, but it didn't. It's not an acknowledgement of guilt that I purposely ran into them. Does
well, I
that make
think it
sense?
depends. Like, it does make sense, but I think, I mean, I also didn't believe I put much emphasis on the word sorry, especially in more small scale things. But actually, I think
Sorry.
subconsciously I always have. I think that's
Sorry.
why, like, me changing the phrase from sorry to excuse me has actually really been beneficial for me because
Hmm.
Mm.
it's making me feel like less internally subconsciously bad about things like that I otherwise would. So I don't know how to describe it. Maybe it doesn't ring true with anybody, but for me, like that, the power of changing the word sorry to the phrase excuse me, again in small scenarios, not big impactful things. That's a really big thing for me. So yeah.
I
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to censor this, but I had a friend also who also said sorry way too often for just very minute things or things that she never needed to say sorry for. And then after her long distance boyfriend came over for the first time to see her, she stopped saying it as much. And ever since then, she's just not said it as much, and I'm very happy about it.
Oh, that's funny.
I
It's just one of those things. Like, I'm trying to think of a scenario where I could switch those words out. Let's say I'm walking and I'm not paying attention. I bump into someone. It happens a lot. Like, it literally happens a lot. The reason I say sorry is because I disrupted them. Now they're turning and looking at me like, "Hey, why did you run into me?"
Yeah, and I still say that too.
I'm trying to think. I don't even. I can't think of a scenario where I could switch that out. But I'm really happy for you. It's helping you mentally though, because if it takes you from not feeling bad about what just happened into a, I'm now apologies, or what is it you say? What's your new phrase? Sorry.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Yeah. So excuse me. So by saying, instead of sorry, meaning like I didn't mean to do that, to excuse me, it's happened already. Like, to me, excuse me is I've already done it, so deal with it. My grandma used to fart and always be like, "Excuse me," like, well, too bad you're gonna stay here.
Well, I think it's on the concept. I feel like excuse me is a more neutral term. Like, so for example, like let's say for example I'm reading out a list and I read a sentence on it wrong, or I read somebody's name wrong. Normally my instinct is to apologize. Oh shit, sorry. Now it's more and Annabelle and Clifford, excuse me, John. That I think is even though essentially it's the same thing, right? It's a small thing, nobody cares. I think like the word excuse me, it's a lot more neutral. Sorry is like I feel guilty over slightly messing up a small word. And I think if you're saying sorry for the tiniest things, but you do it a lot all day, every day, that adds up and you feel guilty about things overall that you shouldn't. So I feel like for me, like changing like even those small scale things to just saying excuse me, it almost it's almost like a form of healing. It's relieving me and absolving me of guilt that shouldn't be there. Again, if I've done something that has upset somebody, or I've done something that's genuinely caused harm, if I've badly bumped into somebody, or like I've done something that causes problems, absolutely, like there isn't a question. I wouldn't go, huh, excuse me, guess I hurt your feelings. Like, no, obviously I'm really sorry. Like, I'm and I'll over apologize for that too. But I've learned to not use sorry where it needn't be used. And the phrase excuse me still is very, like, it has a lot of manners, it has a lot of respect to it, but it's just more neutral. There's not as much power with it that makes me feel internally bad.
I will say for myself that when it comes to like apologizing, I have like levels of apology. Like for me, sorry is like a higher level thing for me. Like if I accidentally just bumped into you in the street, or if I accidentally just say walked past you and bumped, I can't think of another example other than that, but like if that's the case, I'm just gonna say something like my bad, sorry about that. Just like something very casual about it. But if I do know that if I do know that I had a pretty big fuck up, I'm going to actually go ahead and be like, hey, I'm very sorry about that. I really want to take accountability for my actions there. Like definitely. I have different levels on if I'm going to use sorry or not, or my bad.
I think it's categorized. I think it's definitely categorized. Like for me, like I use my bad a lot as well. Like I still think that one's like a good one. My bad is like there's responsibility on you. Like so if I bumped into somebody, I might also say my bad rather than explicitly
that's
like
what
I'm
bumps
sorry.
would be my bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, my bad.
It kind of
but
when I punch you in the
oh,
face, that's accidentally my bad.
I would actually say my bad and sorry. I'd be like, oh shit, my bad. I'm sorry. Like
when I kick you and trip you on purpose, my bad.
No, then I just giggle. That's a giggle.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think it varies for everybody. And again, people have different like mentalities on the words, and some have more and less weight. Probably, hopefully, not too much of a degree. But yeah, for me, like that small little linguistic change in my vocabulary has rather largely, by a greater degree than I thought, has very largely improved my outlook on myself and how I interact with the world. It's less filled with guilt and more filled with humanism.
But sometimes things need more guilt. This is a good segue for me because I have something I need to bitch about. Okay, so earlier this weekend or this Saturday, there was a event held in downtown Indianapolis called Pizza Festival. It was just Indie Pizza Fest, and it was ran by some influencer on Instagram who wanted to answer the question, who has the best pizza in Indy? Which is, hey, pretty cool question. I like pizza. Most people like pizza. That'd be a cool thing to just go to a place, try everyone's pizza, and be like, oh, this is the best pizza. Pretty cool concept, right? Okay, so let's talk about how much of a shit show it was.
Please do.
So, first off, before the event started, I actually re-downloaded Instagram for the first time in like 8 months in order to see like their advertising for it. Because I heard about this through friends after I already got rid of Facebook. Like, so I didn't, or not Facebook, Instagram. I didn't know much about the event other than the fact that certain pizza places that I know and my favorite pizza place is going to be there. So I bought the ticket and everything like that. Speaking of, they ran out of tickets like 3 days before the event, and they actually reserved some tickets the morning of that I had to pay for. So just think about everyone else got tickets at like $30 a pop. Probably, I think is what it was. I had to pay $55. So I'm more pissed than the average person at this. Okay. Just want to say that. Okay. Put that out
Valid.
there. They advertised that they were going to have the entirety of Monument Circle downtown, which Monument Circle, it's a pretty big area. It is basically it's a pretty huge area. I would say probably like half a mile in terms of, not half a mile, probably a quarter mile in terms of diameter overall. Like, it's a pretty big area, especially for something that's just going to be, we eat a bunch of pizza. And they promised that they were going to have the entirety of the circle for all their stalls and everything like that. Plenty of room. We get there, they only have half the circle, but not actually half the circle. They had half the road of the circle because the monument was under construction at the time. So no one was allowed near the monument. They couldn't place booths on the monument or anything. And because the sidewalks had to be publicly accessible at all times, they couldn't expand into the sidewalk areas. So basically they had half the road blocked off, and then they crammed 3,200 people inside that area of what is probably like 0.15 of a mile. Like, imagine 3,200 people all packed into that. Now, it was also 90 degrees Fahrenheit, or for Celsius fans out there, 32 degrees Celsius. It was hot, very hot. Made even worse that they had every single pizza oven for all the vendors in one area at the entrance. So you're getting the heat from the pizza oven. You're getting the heat from how hot it is outdoors. You're getting the heat from being crammed with 3,200 other people. And it is a miserable, sweaty, you are tired, your legs are exhausted because they have no seating areas either. And most criminal of all, they only had one place that you could get water at. One place. Wow. And it was at the entrance. That
could be deadly. Like, people can die.
There were mentions of people getting heat stroke at the event and had to be pulled out on stretchers.
Jeez. The fact, it's like Astro World, but pizza version.
The fact that this event was held in that tiny of an area that to me demands like refund material. Like, I would not be surprised if someone starts a class action for that place. But hold on, I want to talk about more my experience with it. The lines were some of the worst things imaginable. So I was going on crutches, by the way. Like, I was on crutches that entire event. And me and my friends who I went with, we stood in line for literally an hour and moved 5 feet. And we hadn't even gotten to the pizza vendors on that side yet. Like, there were 2 alcoholic beverage stations right there. And we were like right in between both of them to move further on. And plus, I couldn't even have alcohol because I had ibuprofen in my system. I was like, God damn it. At least that would made it less miserable. But at some point, I was just like, I can't take this anymore. I have to go sit down. So I exited the pizza festival, went to sit down. One of my friends came a little bit afterwards because he was also just extremely tired and stuff like that. And so we decided to just go ahead and go to the ice cream place that is also on the circle. Got ice cream, sat in the AC, and our other two friends were still just in the pizza festival trying to get pizza for themselves. And so then we went back after a while, and both of them, they've been standing and in the heat for about 4 hours at this point. And so we decided that we want to get lemon shake-ups because I like going to festivals and I like getting lemon shake-ups. Lemonade with just a shit ton of sugar in it, hell yeah. So we stand in line for the only place that does lemon shake-ups in that event. And the line was moving so fucking slowly. And this was 4 hours after. A lot of people left. Like a lot of people left after seeing how bad it was in that first hour. And they just left skipped out. Because of course you're going to. I don't think most sane people would stay after seeing how much of a shit show that event was. We stayed because, hey, there was ice cream right next door. But but yeah. So we stood in line for the pizza shake-up. It got to the point where both of them were overheating. Like, I touched my friend's forehead and she was the only one who didn't bring a hat. And I literally was like getting burnt. And so we told them, go stand in the shade. And the lemon shake-up people were not moving fast. It was only 2 people. They did not accept debit cards. You had to Venmo or Zelle them the money. And it was just an overall very slow process. And it took my friend about an hour and a half of waiting just to get 4 lemon shake-ups because they ran out of all their other flavors because they had like 18 different flavors. But for some reason, once he got up there, they weren't doing flavors anymore, even though they had flavors still. So yeah, it was an overall shitty event. But let me talk to you about after the event too. Oh, there is even more. This is my monologue for this episode. Okay. So after we got done, we ate like a pretty good amount of pizza overall. I think I had like 8 slices. It was pretty good. And we were sitting in the shade drinking our lemon shake-ups. And I said like, okay, guys, we just had a bunch of carbs. I think I could go for a little bit of protein. Just like a tad bit, like a tiny, like 6 boneless wing meal or something, you know? Nothing too big because we just had a shit ton of food. But like after all those carbs, I want some protein. And so we're like, okay, yeah, let's go. So we go to Wingstop next. That is like close to us. We enter at 5 p.m. EST on a Saturday. They were not taking orders. At 5 p.m.
Why?
in the afternoon on a Saturday. I don't know. We walked in and said, sorry, we're not taking orders right now. And then we just left. And so we're like, okay, that sucks. And then we decided to go to Buffalo Wild Wings because it was just across the street. So like, we were like, okay, well, let's see if Buffalo Wild Wings is good. We went in, we sat down by the hostess stand and proceeded for 15 minutes to sit there, and not a single host or hostess came to take us. And it was not full. Like the restaurant was not full at all. There was like clearly very many visible seating places that they could take us, but not a single employee came to actually take us to any table. And so we just skipped out. We were like, okay, I'm not waiting like another 15 minutes when they can't even come to take us to be like, hey, it'll be another 15 minutes or anything like that. No, they just didn't come take us at all. So at that point, we're like, screw it, let's just go home. So yeah. And then I drove my friend back to her place. As soon as I got home, my roommate came out and she was going to go get dinner for herself. And I was like, okay, I'll take you. I want to get some protein anyway still. So we go to Burger King and she's trying to get like a deal off her phone because apparently Walmart and Burger King are doing like a deal where you can get a $1 Whopper if you link your account or something. And for some reason, Like, it was not working for her at all on the app. And so literally there I am spending another 10 minutes just waiting for her to try to figure out how to get the app. And I'm just like, at this point, just say you don't want the Whopper. It didn't even matter because the other employee there who was just sitting there like, this is stupid, he just gave us a free Whopper. He's just like, I don't care at this point. She obviously wants the Whopper, but she's not going to pay full price for it. Just take it. Just fucking take it. And I'm like, thanks, bro. So yeah, after all of that miserable food experience, I was so fucking pissed off. So fucking pissed off. It was a miserable experience. And if you ever go to a pizza festival, please make sure that it's a big area that they're hosting.
That it's not some influencer.
And also make sure
Instagram
it's
is hosting.
Make sure it's not like in the hottest summer, okay? Make sure it's like during fall or some shit, because goddamn. So anyways, yeah. How was your guys' weekend? I also went to a bridal shower the day after. It was pretty cool.
My weekend was pretty... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
You go.
I was just gonna say it was good. We had town hall, and then we had our first ever Saturday sidewalk, and that was pretty fun. In fact, it was actually like wholesome fun, like old school Minecraft fun. It was just very organic and chaotic. It was basically, Jake had summarized it as, this is pure chaos and we're doing it again. I'm like, absolutely. To give you an idea, Buddy was giving out therapy advice for 1 diamond. And it was really funny, like at his shop. It was fun. It was actually a really fun like Skade day. It was wholesome. It was good stuff. So then I went to work, and then I worked Sunday.
I wish
so
I was there instead of a pizza festival that was 90 degrees.
Oh, you would have loved this because it had that classic organic Minecraft fun. Not like, hey, we're in an event, we're doing this, and then in 15 minutes we're doing this. It wasn't like that at all. It was just that kind of chaos you get when you get a certain group of people together in a Minecraft game, and just crazy shit happens. And it was fun. It was super fun. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Evan, what did you do this weekend?
Very spirited. My weekend was very boring. I worked both days. Did I do anything on Sunday? I don't remember. I don't believe I did. Yeah, just mostly just been just working really. Had a good day yesterday. Late shift. We played Starfinder for the first time in... I know this isn't the weekend, but I'm going to just include it anyway. We played Starfinder yesterday for the first time in 4 weeks. My friend Tom, who runs the campaign, has been having some health issues that are thankfully under control now, but it did take it out of him for 2 weeks. One of the weeks we had to miss anyway, just because of scheduling conflicts. But yeah, then the last 3 weeks were, Tom dealing with some health issues. But thankfully he's fine now. He's doing well. He was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which was actually a bit of a shock to him. And when he was first told, he thought he had been diagnosed with type 2, which would have made more sense. But no, he was given type 1 diabetes, and he's he very, very crazy for him. But yeah, thankfully he was fine in the end. But he was in a very bad spot. Like he went at the right time to the doctor, I'll say that. So yeah, we played Starfinder yesterday, and then I had my late shift. And then that was kind of it really. I had a good day today though, guys. What about you?
It's been a pretty good day. Yeah.
Today?
Yeah.
Yep. Good day.
Good day.
I reached a pretty good height with my climbing today. Sorry. Well, excuse me, I mean.
Yeah, excuse me.
So in my
rude.
climbing gym, I know, right? In my climbing gym, there are 7 grades of difficulty. 7 are like what the really good climbers do. Like they're like the prodigies. They're the ones who've been doing it for years, who just really know the sport. I climb at 5, which I think is really good. Considering there's 7 grades, to climb a 5 I think is really, really good. Especially since I've only been climbing for a year. Like, about a year and 2 months ago, I hadn't set foot on a climbing wall since I was like 10. And today I climbed my first ever 6, which I was really, really proud of. I had to work very hard for that.
Hey, cheers to
I had
that.
a little goal. Thank you.
Blue,
Thank you very much.
Get
Cheers.
the glass
with
out. Get the
actual
glass.
alcohol.
Get the glass
with
out.
with wine. With wine. Not apple juice, with wine.
What do you mean? This is just sparkling grape juice.
Oh, excuse me. Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I had set myself a mini goal, not like a hard stuck one, which is why I never put it in the New Year's resolutions channel. Like when we were asking like what they would be, but I had sort of set a mini goal to myself that it would be really good if I could get a 6 by the end of the year, like before 2026 came around. I didn't know how realistic it was, so the fact that I got it in August, I was super happy about.
Oh yeah, dude.
I know it's not really like, you don't want to grade chase, as they call it, too much in climbing. It's a bit of a novice mistake to do that, because you'll get bothered about a number rather than actual technique. But at the same time, it is a great way to see you're progressing. And yeah, it was just a really, really good session today. And yeah, really, really happy to see some more progress. I'm not proud of much that I do, but that I was very proud of. So yeah, I'll have a drink as well.
Cheers to that.
Oh, excuse me.
Speaking of things to cheer to, though, Evan.
Yeah.
Are you excited for Mindcrack in 2025 like I
am? I am so fucking excited. I've got to tell you how I found this.
I found it through
because
Reddit.
I
follow the subreddit.
I found it through Pyro.
Oh,
so I subscribed to Pyro many, many years ago. And this is long after Mindcrack disbanded, but I had an old YouTube channel where I was subscribed to all the Mindcrackers, but obviously that one I lost. So I have this one that everyone knows I use. And I just followed him like many years ago. We're talking like 8 or 9 years ago, just because, like, I've switched accounts. Got to subscribe to everyone who I used to be subscribed to.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a massive hiatus. But for some reason, it always tells me when he makes an upload. And so I was getting notifications for like his vlogs that he'd post every like once a year. And I just so happened to see
Minecraft Let's Play recently too.
Yeah, right. And I was getting a notification for that. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, Pyro's back again. And Pyro was one of my favorite Mindcrackers.
Yeah.
Like, he had really good humor. He was really casual.
His interviews that he did with all the Mindcrackers, like in season 4.
Yeah.
Those were always so funny.
Yeah, they were really good. I will never forget the episode. Oh, sorry.
I think we should explain what Mindcrack is, because unironically, a lot of people who are watching this probably did not grow up when Mindcrack was around. So
Mindcrack is the OG. Like, it's the OG community server.
Yes. So Mindcrack was the first ever content creator focused SMP. So think of Hermitcraft, think of Dream SMP, think of the Cube SMP, all these SMPs we've had over the years, How to Minecraft, SMP Live, Lifesteal even. All of it started back in 2011 from Mindcrack. It is the first one. It is where some of even famous Minecrafters today got like a lot more popular. Like Ethos Lab was in Mindcrack, Vintage Beef was, DocM77, Seth Bling, Paul Soares Jr. Very popular Minecraft YouTubers back in the day, at the very least.
It's insane. Like, in fact, most, like, I wouldn't say all, but like a good chunk of them, like the Hermit Crafters that you're watching right now, I would say most of their fame actually came from Mindcrack. So, like, for example, Vintage Beef, 90% of those subscribers on his channel did not come from him joining Hermitcraft. They came from when he was a Mindcracker. Like, Mindcrack is was so good. Mindcrack is the reason I actually got into Minecraft. Like, unironically, it was 2013. And I was watching BOO because I had recently bought SimCity. And as a kid, if ever I bought a game, the rule was I immediately go on YouTube and watch a Let's Play of it, and I play with the guy on the video. And I just so happened to do this with BOO. I thought, oh, this is the first one that's come up. I'll watch this guy. And I was like, dude, this BOO guy's pretty cool. And I got a video in my recommended that said Town Hall Progress, Mindcrack. I was like, what? And this was season 4 of Mindcrack.
I remember the town hall.
And I was
That
like,
thing was beautiful.
it was, and I was like, "Oh, you can build town halls in this game too." Because the ironic thing is, I was watching his SimCity video where he had just built the city hall. He'd upgraded his town hall in SimCity. So I clicked on that, and I was like, "Oh, this Mindcrack game looks really cool." I was like, "How do I get Mindcrack? Like, this looks really interesting." And then I realized, oh wait, this isn't a game. This is a server on a game. I was like 9 at the time. So I bought Minecraft. BOO is the reason I have Minecraft, and then obviously I got into like other YouTubers, but Mindcrack is the OG series. It is honestly half the reason that Hermitcraft exists. I would
It
watch
is the reason
BOO.
Hermitcraft exists.
It is. It literally is because it was created by a Mindcracker. And it was what I think is so good.
It was created by a
hadn't
person
seen-
who then became a Mindcracker.
Yes, right. What I love about Minecraft too is how organically it formed. Like, obviously, I didn't start watching Minecraft in its earliest days. I joined a little bit late, actually, watching it in 2013. But when you go back and look at the history, it started very organically. It was literally just a couple of friends who both happened to do YouTube, going, "Let's just make a server." And then they just progressively invited more and more people, and they had their own friends who weren't necessarily content creators. They were just friends that they knew, who they vouched for. They got on the server, and suddenly they were becoming YouTubers. Like, it just became a big community, and then they started inviting more people on. Like, for example, Seth Bling. If any of you remember his big Redstone videos, he became a Mindcracker in season 3, I think.
Chad, Aurelian,
and yeah, Aurelian. Oh, she's wonderful. Yeah, like so many great creators, and it's so good to see so many of them come out of hiatus now too. Like, especially with the success of Hermitcraft. Like, BOO had taken a massive break from Minecraft and content creation in general.
I mean, it was more due to external circumstances, unfortunately.
Yes, it was. Yeah, he had a very great tragedy in his life, and he stepped away from it. But then he ended up on Hermitcraft. I think season 6 of it, like near the end, and then he became an established Hermitcrafter. And then you have like others like Vintage Beef. He joined in on Hermitcraft after
Doc
that.
M and Etho too.
Doc M, Etho, yeah, like they are like the original creators of Minecraft. Like, they are the original big names. Like, you might think Dream, or you might think like Stampy, or who, God knows who else is popular on Minecraft nowadays. But exactly. But yeah, the real main people, the reason that I think Minecraft content creation became so big is specifically the Mindcrackers, and they it's so exciting that they are making a new season, because Mindcrack had a massive, it basically stopped. It
had a big fall off. It didn't technically stop after season 5, but season 5 fell off very heavily.
Yes. Mindcrack was basically starting to lose viewers, and there were some internal, and this didn't get revealed until very, very recently. Obby had the pleasure of telling me.
Well, hold on, I want to, before you preface anything, it is alleged from the owner of Mindcrack. There's no confirmation of this other than it's from the owner's mouth.
It does make, I will say though, even if it isn't confirmed, it does make a lot of sense. Essentially, Mindcrack was starting to fall off, and there were some internal issues that at the time were mistaken for financial incentive, which made the owner go, "I'm going to consult some lawyers. I'm going to get the people on this server to sign non-disclosure agreements." And like, Mindcrack is going to become a trademarked thing, because at the time Mindcrack was grassroots. It was literally just it's a bit like,
it was
Skade.
just a group of friends.
A brand. Yeah, it wasn't a brand; it was just a name. And so he did that, and that fueled the rift in Mindcrack to the point where everyone broke off. So like, you had big names like BOO, Etho, Vintage Beef. They were all stepping away.
Vintage Beef never stepped away. Doc M did. But Beef never technically stepped away, but he did distance himself from the rest of them in order to like further his career on Hermitcraft.
Yeah, exactly. And they all did that, and so Mindcrack basically kind of just died and became sort of a forgotten memory. But we were about a year ago, the owner sort of came out and talked about a lot of issues that had caused Mindcrack to fall, and his own kind of context and his own version of things. And I think that obviously must have brought in a lot of people like sort of back into talking, because a couple days ago I was scrolling through and I saw Pyro Puncher, one of the original members of Mindcrack, had made a community post, and it was an eyeball emoji, and it was a Mindcrack link, and I thought, what the hell? And it was a countdown. So it's looking like we're going to get a new season of Mindcrack, which is so exciting. I don't know who else is going to be on board with it. Like,
they released they released a crossword puzzle, or not crossword, a word search, and a couple people already went through and found out every single name of everyone who's going to be in it, and there's some new names in there that I find very surprising, which makes me believe that this is going to, unfortunately, be a more streaming focused SMP instead of a YouTube SMP,
rather than videos. And I didn't like the streams.
I am not a fan of watching video streams, but they're inviting a chosen architect who is very big Minecraft modded Let's Player. But usually he only has 2 series running at a time on his main channel, and he already has a create SMP and a single player Skyblock modded Skyblock already running. So I doubt he's going to start a video series on Mindcrack, especially because Mindcrack is vanilla. So I'm assuming he's going to be mostly just streaming it. And I forgot who the other one was, but it was someone who is like a YouTuber who I never knew associated with Mindcrack. But like was very surprising to see. But even other ones like Vintage Beef is coming back. Pyro is coming back. Good is coming back. Of course, Good's coming back. But even surprising ones that aren't coming back, like Jasano for some reason has not been in the word search. Co-star is said to be in the word search. The word co is in the word search, but people are thinking that's just like how they generated the word
a coincidence.
search. Yeah. So
I'm hoping that
interesting.
I'm hoping that Pause. I hope Pause and BOO come back. Like, I can't imagine
BOO is not part of the list. B-Dubs, Etho, and Doc M are not part of the list. And it does suck because B-Dubs and Good had, in my opinion, some of the best like friendship moments growing up, especially in season 3. Like I loved them really interacting to each other, but I do know that Generic B wedged a rift in between them and everything like that. But I do wish that he would give him another shot.
There's no reason that after Minecraft is reestablished they don't come back later. The one thing I really hope, and I'm not optimistic this is going to happen because we live in 2025, but what I loved about the old Minecraft videos is how raw they were. There were very little edits. Like obviously there were a few jump cuts, but most of what you saw on Minecraft videos was all like filmed. Like you saw them building things, you saw everything that happened. Hermitcraft, for example, it used to be, but nowadays for the last, I'd say 3 or 4 seasons, is really edited.
Some hermits still do it pretty raw, like XP Crafted and Beef do it.
Yeah.
A little bit more, but yeah.
They do it. But then like you have like other ones like Grian or like Mumbo, who they build like these massive mega structures and they cut like, and it's like they've done like basically 50 hours of work in like, and they just cut like in the video like straight to that point. And I think that Minecraft, it felt more organic. I feel like in Hermitcraft they often are trying to like, they almost script the funny moments or like the fun interactions, which I get because they're more of a brand now and that's, you need clicks. But I think that Minecraft was so good back in the day because it was just so raw and organic. Like you couldn't make those moments up. They just happened. And I'd like to think that Minecraft will kind of stay true to that original formula. But again, it's 2025. You need big buildings. You need fast, snappy content. Yeah. So I'm not too optimistic.
I don't know how it's going to progress, but I am excited to see it in action. And I'm sorry we've been leaving you out of the conversation, Blue. I know you don't know anything about Minecraft.
None of it, and I'm good. I'm just listening.
By the way, how I found out about Mindcrack was through Pulsars Jr. And subsequently, because Beef was the one who gave him a tour of the server. Beef was the 3rd ever Minecraft YouTuber I ever subscribed to, behind Pulsars Jr. and then a very small channel that's no longer around called Piano Man BD. So I have a lot of history with Vintage Beef, still watch him to this day. And I am in love with the fact that Mindcrack is coming back. because I know
Yeah,
Vintage
me
Beef
too.
only does videos, so I don't have to go and watch a stream for Beef. He will make a video on it instead. Thank God.
I'm optimistic. I'm looking forward to the return of Mindcrack. I think that like there's a lot of charm that the original creators have, and I think it'll be better watching it as an adult. Like I was watching Mindcrack as a little kid. I didn't know about Reddit. I didn't know what Reddit was. I didn't see the discussion. I didn't know like I didn't understand a lot of
Same.
it. So as an adult, it'll make a lot more sense, like watching or keeping up with it on social media. So it's going to be something. I'm more excited about Mindcrack coming out this year than any movie that's projected to release this year. If that tells you, you know, I'm
Yeah.
not. I I find like maybe I'm just getting older, and so I'm just less excitable. But like I've looked at all the movies that are coming out this year, and almost all of them I have literally zero interest in seeing. Whereas like a few years ago, it would be harder for me to form a list of the things I wasn't interested in seeing.
I haven't paid attention to any of the movies coming out this year, but my friend group is such a big media junkie friend group. Like all of them like talking about watching movies and watching what they
Yeah,
are seeing on TV and stuff like that. And so they'll just be talking about, oh, I can't wait to see this movie. Like I think there was a movie coming out called Weapons or something. I know nothing
yeah,
about it because I just don't get advertisements for that anymore because all my content I watch is through YouTube. And since I pay for YouTube Premium, I never get ads to see what is going on outside the world. Like if it's not something the YouTubers I watch are talking about, or if it's not something that my friends bring up to me personally, I don't know that it exists. So like say for example, I did not know Fantastic Four released until after it was released.
mm,
And I'm a Pedro Pascal fan. I think he's very hot, but I didn't even know that that a movie of his even came out until after it was released because I just don't know anymore.
just like I just think that like nowadays movies just feel very samey, and I don't think movies. I really associate movies with like the early 2000s and like the 90s and the 80s. It feels like the modern era doesn't work in movies. Like the characters are all on the smartphones on social media, or they're making some weird like political joke. I feel like movies are just they feel very copy and pasted nowadays. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of new stuff anymore. And I know that's kind of the point of the entertainment industry nowadays,
Mm,
and it's always been like this to a degree. But if I went back to like I don't know like 2011, I feel like I could point to like hundreds of like really new inventive ideas, or like I go back to like the early 2000s and like there's a new movie, there's a new franchise, like there's just new things coming out. Whereas like nowadays there's only a couple of like new standalone things that are worth seeing. And I don't know, like Superman I really enjoyed and I wanted to see that, but even that I wasn't like racing out the door to go and see. I only went because my friends were going. I was going to give it a miss. I ended up really liking it, but yeah, it just I don't know. Movies nowadays they just feel either like okay or they're just bad. I don't feel like there's ever really a movie nowadays that's like holy shit, this is the best thing ever.
mm,
I realize too when you're a
But
kid, when you're younger, your expectations are so much less too. And sometimes I think as an adult, we can kind of get in, not get in our own heads, but we're a lot more critical than we would be as a kid. And when you
yeah.
have that kind of transition from kid to adult, there's these weird years where you're just disappointed in things. You're disappointed at Christmas because it's not how it was a few years ago, right?
Hmm.
You're disappointed how people treat you because you don't get away with things and you're just this cutesy little kid anymore. It's just these weird transitionals. And I found that when I kind of experienced that too with music and with movies, when I was kind of more becoming an adult, because it's like the humor, as a kid, I would have found it funny or this would have been great. But as an adult, I was coming into my own taste, my own what I like, which is not necessarily what other people have like. And I've had to learn that too, because there's movies people say, oh my God, it's the best movie ever. And I'm like, really? I didn't even like it. And that's when I went, so, or that's kind of when I kind of realized, okay, also I have very unique taste in things. But for me, I do agree, Evan, that things have gone down, but that's also because I'm not a movie lover. But I can tell you from like Riley and Nen, they're loving everything that is coming out. They love Fantastic Four. They love Superman. they are movie people. They're looking for the SGI, is that what you call it, or however it is, the effects, right? But
Oh yeah,
I don't
CGI.
enjoy CGI. Sorry, I don't enjoy those things. I don't enjoy going to the movies. I don't enjoy movies in general. I'm more of a documentary or a TV show kind of person. So for me, it's like I can't really say if they've gone down or they haven't gone down. But I
I
can say
think
too, though, I wonder how much is it because if you've noticed a gradual, the older you get, the less kind of impressed you are with movies or things. I almost wonder if a little bit of that isn't
I
that
think there's
transition.
I think it is part of the transition. I won't even pretend that it's not. However, the way I kind of rationalize it is I do genuinely believe, even with those factors in mind, I do believe if I erased all my memory of movies that I've seen, if I took 10 movies from this year and 10 movies from the 90s, I am almost certain I would prefer the 90s movies than the modern
well,
ones.
you're taking an
Like,
entire
obviously,
decade versus 1 year, to be fair.
well, okay, right. Well, if I then fine, I'll say that I'll even say like the 2010s. Like I will, I think there are. I think I would prefer the 90s movies to the 2010s ones. Like genuinely, I don't know why. I can't explicitly point to specific reasons, but like I think even without any knowledge or like prior about them, I would prefer the ones from the 90s than I would from the 2000s.
Hmm.
Um, just in terms of like their quality, in terms of like the originality, you know.
I still got quite a bit of my list to finish about all the movies that I was recommended by skaters. I've seen a lot
Yeah, you
already,
do.
but I still haven't done the two series yet, which is Firefly and the Penguin.
Oh man,
So those are going to be the biggest ones, like in terms of time to do. So
I'm
I've
looking
been,
forward to seeing how you feel about Firefly. I think you'll like it.
hmm but yeah, either way, I think that actually, no, I want to talk about this because I was thinking about this earlier, back when Blue was doing her monologue earlier. Uh, and it reminded me of Allie recently got an iPod. And I was thinking during you talking about like distancing yourself from technology, do you think that if it wasn't for like the fact that you have certain people on your phone that like you can only message through your phone, like your parents, do you think that you could just go back to like iPod sort of thing where all you have is like music, maybe a couple apps, stuff
Like
like
a
that?
flip phone and an iPod?
Not a
Like,
I no, I'm talking just purely an iPod. I don't think I need a flip phone anymore other than for the fact to contact my parents.
see, I don't have a home phone. So like, our phones are the only like way we have to talk to people.
Mhm.
I could see myself going to a flip phone for conversations, for calling, checking in on people, my dad, going back to that personal connection, not the messaging connection. And then having an old school iPod for music would be amazing because I didn't even think about that. Like, because a lot of my music is through a streaming service, of course, and or it's all digital. I
Mhm.
can't tell you the last time I buy vinyls, but only for collector purposes, and usually those are autographed ones. So like,
Mhm.
no, I'm not. I have a record player here in the office here, but I don't use it that often. So for me, my music is through Apple Music, or Amazon Music or YouTube Music. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how I would do. It's something I could talk for hours. I know it. I do apologize for everyone that did listen to my like 15-minute rant there, but I really do think I could be a lot overall mentally healthier and happier if I could do better at detaching. People are like, oh, just hide the apps and you won't go on them. Yes, I do. I just go through the folder and I find it and I use it. I mean, I make it difficult for myself sometimes, but it doesn't stop me from using it.
Mhm.
I'm definitely one of those people that like moderation is very hard for me. I'm just an all or nothing kind of person. So if I was to want to get rid of social media, I would have to get rid of social media. It wouldn't be just park it, nope. I'll be right back. So yeah, I don't so a flip phone would work for me. I still need to be able to call people. And especially as much as I hike and I'm out, out in the wilderness, I need to like be able to call 911 if I need to, or get
Mhm.
call someone if I need to. But for like music, yeah, absolutely. Like I think an old school. No, are you talking like the iPod Touch that you can have
Yeah,
apps on it? Or are you talking
I'm
like
talking
old
that.
school iPod?
I'm talking
Okay.
like iPod Touch. I don't think if I had an iPod Touch, I don't think I would need a phone. Like, I don't think I need
Do
a
you not call
smartphone.
people very often?
No, not really. The only
Do you have
time
a
I ever
home phone?
call people is
Mhm.
like either I call my mom every once in a while, or people are calling me, like my doctor's office calls me or
Right.
something
I was
like
just
that.
gonna say doctor's offices. Yeah. I
But
mean, and
like
Pixies,
I
vet,
genuinely think that I could go like home phone and an iPod and be completely
Mm.
fine.
Okay, so home phone. Okay, because we don't have a home phone, and I'm
Yeah.
sure somehow it would be possible, but it's so like I
And
haven't
most of
had
the
a home
time I'm on my
phone
computer
in like
anyway,
10
so
years. I haven't. It's been more than 2 years since I've had a home phone.
mhm.
Yeah, that's true. As long as you have internet, you're probably good. You can pretty much talk to anyone, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm gonna get my mom and dad on Discord.
I got my dad on Discord for like a day, and then he's like, "I don't understand this," and he didn't like it, and that was it.
I
So.
will tell them either you talk to me through here or you're never seeing your son again. That's my privilege as an only child to be like,
Aren't you scared? Oh, I was gonna say, aren't you scared of the answer to that? But yeah,
I
never
mean,
mind. You're an
hey,
only child. Same. My
less
dad's kind of
stress
stuck
on
with
my
me.
back, right?
That's funny.
Come back 30 years later and be like, I'm old now, take care of me. It's like, you left
Yeah.
me 30 years ago.
Yeah. Sorry. Too bad.
You didn't download Discord for me. Sorry. All right. Well, I think that's about time to wrap up this episode. That was a good sparkling grape juice that I had.
Yes, I love my apple. Look at I'm drinking. There's apple juice inside of my pumpkin spice latte.
Oh, I love pumpkin spice
Delicious.
apple juice. Yeah, yeah.
Pumpkin spice apple juice. That's probably a thing somewhere, and if
It
I
does
kind of
kind
want
of
to try
sound
it, I'm not
good.
gonna lie.
I
It
don't
does
like
actually kind
pumpkin
of sound
spice,
good.
but that's because I don't like coffee. But like that and apple juice might actually taste good.
See,
Or like
I'm
apple
the
cider.
direct opposite. I'm the exact opposite. I don't like apple juice, but I like pumpkin spice. But I do like apple cider a little bit. I can have like a little bit, but yeah,
Mm.
I don't like apple juice. I'm that weirdo.
Well,
Everybody likes it.
either way, Evan, it's time for you to lead us out.
No problem. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching this episode of the Skader Things podcast. If you liked it, please leave a like. And of course, remember to comment or don't. Up to you. As we always say, up to you.
It's always up to
But anyway,
you.
that is
You are the one to make that
going
choice.
to you. I
It's
want
up
you.
yours. I
Only
mean, up
you
to you.
can
Sorry.
prevent wildfires.
Uncle
Okay,
Sam
Smokey.
is talking now. But yes, if you thank you very much everyone for watching, and we will see you in the next installment. Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
Installment.